Alright YouTube, in this video we are going to see how to create autocomplete input field by fetching data from the value. You'll get the source code in the description along with the steps to be followed. Fine, let's get into it. Fine, you can see this is the input field. It says autocomplete input field. You can see these are the states which is getting fetched from a JSON file. So the output is simply the states in India. Fine, you can see as I type, these values are getting fetched from this file, which is states.json file. It has two objects, two value into it, which is key and name, and inside the data we have our JSON file. You'll get the source code in this description. Make sure your HTTP or your local host is running, because we are going to use a function called fetch, which will run only on the local host. Fine, these are the things which we are going to know in this tutorial. Fine, let's get into it. Well, let me show you what are the HTML we have. I have let me remove all this JavaScript and search from and start from very scratch. And these are the HTML, which is a jumbotron. It has one heading into it. As you see, this is a jumbotron. It has an heading along with the input field, which we will uniquely identify with its ID, and a div. This div will dynamically append all the values, all the required values from the JSON file. We are going to use the JavaScript over here. As I said, we have two identifier, which is ID of two HTML input field and a div, a blank div. Fine. The second step, what we are going to do is we are going to add an on-click listener. To add an on-click listener, we have to define the HTML element. Here we are going to use two HTML element. The first one is search field and the second one is matched field. So to call the element from the JavaScript document.get element by ID, we have specified the ID, so that's the reason why I'm using get element by ID. You can also use query selector, or you can also use classes to uniquely identify. We have used ID over here, so this is the proper syntax. Get element by ID is a function, and we need to pass the ID in the single quotes or your double quotes, and name the element appropriately in the JavaScript, so that we can easily call just by calling the variable instead of using the whole syntax get element by ID. That is fine. Now the search field is what we are looking for. Get the variable of the search field and add an on-click listener. It's not an on-click listener, it's an input. When we input, we want the function to get executed, and this is a function which will get executed. We're going to use arrow function over here. So just for the demonstration, this is how it will be triggered. You can see it on the console. You can see hello. As you keep on inputting the value, the hello is getting appended. Fine. Now instead of specifying the hello, I want to run a function, and that function will do all the operations required. So you can see the fetching value, the input value, I'm passing it as a parameter of the function. So to check whether the value is properly fetching or not from the input field, I'm checking with console. If I type a, you can see the a is keep on getting consoled. Fine. So instead of console, I'm going to pass it to a function called search data from JSON. As I said, I'm going to use the arrow function. It's very simple. Instead of nameless function, I'm just going to use the arrow syntax. That's it. Fine. Now we are going to call the function, and in the function I'm going to pass the field, which is the value. So let me give my own name, which is search text, and again the arrow function, and now fetching data from JSON. To fetch the data from JSON, what you have to do is you have to call a function called fetch that will give a response. So that response, I'm storing it into a variable called res. So inside the fetch function, we are passing a parameter So the location is inside the data folder. I have a file called states.json. So since it is fetching value from file, I'm making it as asynchronous function. So once the function is ready, once the data is ready, it will store into a variable called res. So that is what the await does. Await will wait until the values are ready. So right now this states has all the values from the database. It's in the array form. Let's console and check whether it is working fine or not. As you see, I have converted the response into the JSON object. So if I type something, there are 36 values. If you want, you can check again. It says 36 value. So that's because of this console log. We are getting data from the fetch function. Now it's time to use the filter class, filter function, and this filter function will output as an array. So matches is our array. So inside the filter we are passing the data which we fetched from the JSON file, so which is states. So we will be accessing one by one in the filter function. Now we are going to define a pattern which is a regular expression pattern. So to define a regular expression pattern, we need to create a function. We need to create an object of the regEx, which should be looking like this: new reg. Make sure to spell it right. And inside that we are going to pass two parameter. The first one is the, let's go for the second one. It is global and case insensitive. And the first parameter would be what value. So the value whatever we type inside the search text should come over here. So you can see above the search text I have added above arrow mark, so which specifies that starting from the value or starting from the alphabet. So I'm going to return the key that matches the pattern, the pattern which we have specified using the reg expression. And the key, we have added the key, and we need the value also, which is in the name. Fine. If you want, you can console and log, but in this case the filter output the value as an array, so we will get the value as an array. Matches is the array which we get by the filter function. If you see, if I type a, I get the full value which is inside the array. Fine. Now what we are going to do is we are going to pass this array to a function, and that function will simply output our HTML with the help of map function. Fine. You can see the console is working very fine as we type. So this matches. I'm going to pass it to a function. So that function will simply output the HTML. So let's name the function as output as HTML. Now it's time to define the function. Since it's a nameless function, you can give the arrow function also. I'm passing the same matches array over here. So there is no difference between nameless function and arrow function. Remove the arrow function and place the function keyword over here, and that's nameless function. And if you want arrow function, remove the function and add the arrow, and that's arrow function. It's very simple. Now we're going to pass this array to a map function of the JavaScript, and it will map our array and output a new array. The map function takes the array and output the new array. That's what I'm naming the variable as new array. So the key over here is simply the first match, or the one by one match. Just name as one by one, and then the value is simply the HTML. Whatever HTML we need, we would be passing as backticks. I am using the backtick over here, and inside the backtick we can have our own HTML. So I'm going to have a div with two columns, and inside these two columns there would be a h4, and this is how we get the array value, the key and the name. So if you console and check, you would be getting the value in the array format. You can see there are four values in array. That's what it is saying. To get the value as a string, what you have to do is you have to add a function called join. It's a array function. It will join the array into a string, convert to string by using join function. Now let's check. You can see with the help of join function, it is outputting as the HTML, or you can say the direct string. Now inside this id, which I have already declared on the top, get the id, get the variable, and using the inner HTML property, add the string as the HTML. So here the new array, it's not an array anymore because we have added join, so it's the HTML. If you refresh and check, and it's working absolutely fine. Get the source code in the description. Thank you so much for listening. And one more thing, you can see when I were left blank, the whole data is getting retrieved. If you see, when I remove the a, the whole value is getting retrieved. Now we will check whether the text which we are getting is blank or not. If it's blank, we'll make the array as blank. We're checking the length of the string which we are getting from the input field. If it's zero, what we do is we will make the array as null, and we'll pass into a function that output as HTML. You can see if it's null, we'll make the array as null, and we'll pass the object. We'll pass the array as null to the function, output as HTML. Now if there is blank, you can see there is no value is getting fetched because we have made the array blank. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening.